Tell me, guys, can you see my screen or not? I'm sharing now my screen. Can you see? Yeah, fantastic. Good. Okay. Okay. Very good. Thanks. First step, they just like this. And our title today, or you can say tonight, is about leadership ethics. How to have ethics, how to navigate into integrity as a leader, as someone working as an HOD, as a head of department, as a school principal, academic head, academic principal, vice principal for students affairs, vice principal for academics, whatever you need to understand about the ethics when it comes to leadership. Okay, so what is needed here, guys, is that I want to introduce myself first, but have a look, read silently. I give you 30 seconds. Okay, I always start my sessions with my colleagues, in my teachers, my students, with a quote. This quote is basically talking about our subject tonight. It's talking about the ethical leadership. When you are a leader, that is called an ethical leader. How can we describe someone that is ethical? Look at this. He's always involving himself in what? In taking responsibility for the consequences of the actions. Why? Because when you are, I'm talking about schools or universities, when you are taking an action or when you are taking a decision in your school, sometimes your decision is wrong or it has a negative impact on others. Then if you are a leader, if you are a true leader, you say, I'm in charge, I'm responsible, I'm credible, I'm in charge of what happened. To be honest, some leaders always blame others and say, this is because of Mr. X. This is because of Mr. Y. It's not because of me. I'm someone who does no mistakes, zero mistakes. So this is not called ethical leader. Okay, so I will jump from time to time to the chat box and try to see what you guys are writing. They should be responsible and fair. That's very true. That is very true. Okay, so a leader, a true leader, is someone who is responsible for any decision that is being taken in school. Not only his decisions, but even other decisions that happened in a school. Why? Because he's responsible for everything in the school context. Let's just try, guys, to see what is meant by ethics, what is meant by integrity in education. Let's look at and listen to this video that will take around one minute and then come back.
I'm afraid that you have to share the audio. Check, the box that says share sound while sharing the screen. Click on share the screen again.
Well,
And then
the
mute
sound is
again.
not clear.
Yeah, it's we can't hear anything as a guest, so you have to click on share the screen and
Let
click,
me. Okay.
yeah, check.
Once more.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear?
No, you have to click on check.
Huh? Can you hear?
The share sound option.
I did. Well, give me a
Yeah.
second.
Okay.
Let me share again. Let me share again. Okay.
Be honest and tell the truth.
Can you hear?
Right?
Yeah, no,
Seems
it's good.
simple
Yeah.
enough, and people write those values on the walls, right?
Yeah.
The leader sets the tone.
Yeah.
And so when we say, we demand that everyone in our company be honest and tell the truth, right?
Yeah.
Seems simple enough, and people write those values on the walls of their companies, right? Honesty, right? There it is for all to see, you know, visions and values, you know? And the point I was trying to make is, if the phone rings and your secretary answers and says, you know, David's on the phone, and you say, tell him I'm not here. That's a lie. That is a patent lie. And what we've now done is we've told our staff that when it suits us, it's okay to tell these little lies. So in an organization like that, it should come as no shock when people are lying in other parts of the company for self-interest, because that tone was set by the leader. So you can say, I'll call him back. You know, you can say, I don't want to talk to him right now. But when you say, tell him I'm not here when clearly you are, then that leader says that in our organization, lying is acceptable. That's what that is. So writing on the wall means nothing. The behavior that we model absolutely matters. You know, it's like parents today telling their kids to get off their cell phones, and then it's the father or the mother that are sitting at dinner on the cell phone.
Okay, my question here, guys, after this 1 minute, what did you come out of the video with? What do you understand? What does you want to tell us about this? Tell me in the chat box, or even unmute yourself and start telling me what is meant with this. Be a good role model, okay? Right, thank you. Who else? I need more.
So because you know, they are not allowed to unmute themselves. So anyone, if anyone wants to contribute, they can
no
raise
problem.
their hands. You know,
Chat box. No, if you need to write in chat box, it's okay. Apply what you believe. Honesty, the best policy. Walk the talk. Correct. That's very true. It's basically, he was talking about the father telling his kid, do not use a cell phone. And this father is using the cell phone in front of the students. So do not order, do not instruct someone to do something that you are not doing. Do not try to tell your employees, do not lie, guys, and you are a liar. Do not tell them to listen to instructions while you're not. Do not ask your teachers to come to school on time. Why you do not come to school on time? Do not ask your teacher to do all the assignment, to do the assignments needed while they are not doing their assignments. This is a very important point about being an ethical leader. And an ethical leader is always pushing people from behind in order for them to be seen as if they are in front. He's doing this. He's coming from behind, pushing his team to the front. And everyone can see that he's the last one. The last one means he's a leader. Some people would like to take the snapshot. You know, some people are like, I want to be the picture. I want to be there. I want everyone to feel that I'm doing everything. You know, so it's all about being a role model, you know. Okay, now a silent reading movement, just read silently. What is ethical leadership? What is ethics? Read it, and then we move on to the characteristics of leaders. Okay, so a question. When you look at the definition of ethical leadership, what is the key words that attracted you guys in the chat box? What is the key word that attracted you and you say, yes, this is ethic, this is ethical leaders? Okay, ethical. Okay, a strong moral ethics, morals, values. Okay, fantastic, guys. Thank you. Demonstrating honesty. Plana. Good. Honesty. Honesty. Honesty is the best policy, as you mentioned. Same behavior inside and outside. He is not a hypocrite. He is not someone who says what he doesn't do. No, he's doing what he says. Very good. Actions speak louder than words. Okay, thoughts. Code of conduct. Fantastic. I love your participations. Very good. Very good. Okay. So why we are still insisting on building ethical leaders? Because when you have an ethical leader, you as a teacher, you as anyone working in the school community, you feel that you are being respected. You feel that you are being treated fairly, with honesty. You are not oppressed in the school context. You have a very healthy environment. Yes, as you mentioned, guys, to have a good environment, to innovate. You have a very special environment to make you happy. As I mentioned before, that we have in a school, we have, it's either you have a machine culture or you have what? You have a family culture. The ethical leader is able to build a family culture, not a machine culture. He's able to build an open climate, not a closed climate. He's open to build a special kind of integration in the school community. People are living in such a kind of safety, honesty, loyalty. They change from loyal teachers to what? To people who have ownership. Okay, then the most important part here is, what are the key principles of leadership ethics? If you want to say that this leader is an ethical leader, he has to have these four. These four. Number one, integrity. Number two, respect. Number three, responsibility. Responsibility. Number four, fairness. What is meant by every one of these four? Let's look at everyone and what does everyone mean. And you know, the definition is simple, with a very simple example, so that every one of us understand and try to deal with. Fairness, not biased. Fantastic, Iman. Shema says a healthy, respectful, productive environment. That is true. Guys, I know a lot of my friends who left a job because of a leader, because of a manager, because of a principal. This topic is important. This topic is crucial. This topic needs to be taken to any principal that you are dealing with. I do understand that some teachers in a school, I may be a principal and I have five, let's say 5 HUDs, 5 head of departments, and I have 100 teachers. You have to be fair, even if you do not love, because as mentioned, it's not a matter of to accept or do not accept. It's all about you have to respect, even if you do not accept. I may not accept X or Y, but I have to respect them. I have to deal with them fairly. I have to be biased or not biased. I'm not supposed to be biased with teachers, right? Okay, let's look at the first one, which is integrity. Integrity is just one word: to do the right thing. To do the right thing, even when no one is watching you. You know, when someone is at home alone and he can do whatever he likes, but he has integrity. He has integrity. He can say that he is being seen by the Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he's doing it not because he's looking for people's satisfaction. He's doing it in order to satisfy, number one, his conscience, and then his work. You know, this is the basic meaning of the word integrity. Do the right thing, whatever happens. You know, for example, sometimes a school principal says to a teacher, you are giving a student 7 out of 20. We need them to get 15 out of 20. So the teacher will say, okay, Mr. Principal, I'm going to do this. So there is no integrity. There is no integrity for both teachers and principals, you know? So this is one of the most important points. Don't be scared. Do the right thing first. Okay. Why is this important? It's important for many things. To establish trust and establish credibility for both. All the stakeholders, if you are a principal that is fair, you do the right thing, all parents will respect you. All teachers will respect you. I give you a very short example, guys, and I can see this myself. In our school, we do have some parents, if their kids are getting low grades, sometimes they come to me and they talk to me, and I tell them we have a policy and we abide by the policy. If your kid is not doing his work on time, then he's not going to get the full mark. If he's 1 day late, he's going to get 4 out of 5. If he's 2 days late, he's going to get 3 out of 5. Some parents do not come to me, and they just go to the vice principals and talk to them and try to convince them to give them 5 out of 5. But because as one of the society, as a school, we do have the same policy, we do have the same way of thinking, they cannot get anything from anyone. They go to the vice principal, he says the same. They go to the student councilors, he's saying the same. They go to the teacher, they go to the the head of department, they come to me. Wherever they go, they have the same answer. This is integrity. Do the right thing, whatever happens, okay? And then we move to, after integrity, we have respect. And this is a very valid point and very, very important, crucial point for everyone. What is respect? You have to value everyone working with you. You have to treat in a very respectful way with everyone working with you. You have to deal with dignity. You have to deal with a kind of respect. Don't tell me that you don't like this teacher. If you don't like him, deal with him in a subjective way or objective way. You have to deal with him with a subjective or objective. If you want to respect or to be fair, which is correct? To be objective or subjective? Tell me. Chat box, guys. Chat box. Objective. Fantastic, Iman. Objective means you have a rubric and you have points that you look at the points and see when you evaluate a teacher. Do not be subjective means what? Do not be subjective. Like I said, I don't like him for no reasons. You know, I don't like him because he's fat, because he's not nice, because he doesn't have a sense of humor, because no, these are wrong ways of judgment. You have to be objective, not subjective. So when you deal with anyone in the school, you have to deal with respect. With respect. If the teacher goes and complains of you to the CEO, you have also to deal with respect. You have a policy. You abide by the policy. You apply the policy, but do not apply the policy on this teacher and do not apply it on other teachers. Someone comes late to school and then you tell them you're late, 1 day deduction, and another one that you love, that you do love, comes late to school and you do not deduct from him, then at that time, there is no respect, there is no fairness, there is no even integrity, okay? So you guys need to look at these points, okay? It's important for what? When you are respecting everyone, fostering a positive and inclusive work environment. Teachers will feel that you are not biased. Teachers will feel that you respect everyone, whatsoever happened, you know? And I'm telling you guys this, not for principals only, it's even for teachers. As a teacher, please deal with your colleagues in a beautiful way. deal with respect, deal with a professional way. Do not say, I like this, I don't like this. In the work context, in the work community, in the work environment, you have to be professional. You have to have integrity. You have to have respect. And an example of this, when you listen carefully to everybody. And I always say in my courses that you guys need one important point: communication. Communication may make or break any organization. Communication may make or break any relation. You have to be a positive communicator. You have to be a strong communicator. When you communicate with your teachers, you have to be smart in communication, how to reach their hearts first, how to use the SEL, social emotional learning. You have to use your social intelligence in trying to gain their love, their respect, and stuff like that. Okay? Well, and a very important point also is a good educator is an active listener. You have to listen. You have to listen carefully. You have to listen more than you speak. You have to listen to everybody around you. You may learn something new. Okay? Then move on to the responsibility. In the responsibility, why it's really important? Because again and again, if there is something good in the school, the principal said, it's me. I have done it myself. I'm responsible for the success we are facing. You know, they say that. But a very good principal say, it's my responsibility, whatever happens. If a problem happens, they say, it's not my responsibility. It's Mr. X. It's Mr. Y. So you have to be accountable for any action and decision in your school. If one of your HODs take an action, if any one of your HODs tries to do something which becomes like wrong, or there is a mistake behind it, you have to say, it's my accountability. It's my responsibility. This is a very important point. Why? You have to protect your team. You have to protect your team. You have to defend your team. You have to make them feel that there is someone who is always protecting them. And as I'm telling you again, you have to come from the back to push them forward so that everyone can see your team in front. Do not go and say, I need the picture for myself. I need to be captured as if I'm the best. I'm doing everything. I'm genius. And nobody genius except me. Do not be such a kind of autocratic leader. Be a very transformational leader. Okay. As mentioned, the chat box, it's what a topic. Really, it's a real life story. Yeah, this happened in our store. And most leaders, when they are very professional, they are implementing integrity. When they are very professional, too professional, they are ethical leaders. And someone who is really weak, someone who is not up to standard, he's trying to sneak around and he's not implementing the ethical leadership style. He's not able to live this way. He's just trying to manipulate around and around, Well, next, the fourth one. And when I'm talking about the fourth one, before moving to the fourth one, who can remind me in the chat box of the first one? What is the first characteristics of ethical leaders? What is the first characteristic, guys? Write in the chat box. What is the first? Integrity. Second, very good. Integrity. Respect. Bravo. Respect. Number three, integrity, respect. In the responsibility, IRRF. Very good. Responsibility. And then F, fairness, which is equal treatment for all. Again, when a teacher is coming late, another teacher is coming late, you punish someone and you don't punish the other. This is not fairness. You have to be fair. But again, don't tell me that someone is coming late for the 5th time and someone is coming late for the 1st time and they are equal. No, this is not true and this is not fair. You have to apply the policy You have to, and even before you apply the policy on your teachers, you have to provide them with something called the staff handbook. When you provide a staff handbook, so that teachers know what are the rights and what are the duties, because everyone has rights. What's my right? And what are the duties that I have to follow in the school context, you know? So that is very important point to speak about. Okay, well, this is treatment, it has to be equal, and this is promoting a culture of equality and justice. And actually, very important point, consistent application of policies and procedures. I'm telling you, you have to focus on the policies and be careful. You have to give the policy. You have to send the school policy to every teacher. Because to be honest, I still remember a teacher that was punished in his school for being late, was punished for submitting his work late. And I was asking him a question. Have you ever had a look? Have you ever had a look on the staff handbook? He said, what do you mean by staff handbook? I said, staff handbook is like book that has the policies and procedures, what to do, what not to do, everything in the school. He said, I have no idea about this. Then I told him, go to the principal and ask him. He went to the principal. You know, unfortunately, they do have a policy, they do have the staff handbook, but it was not shared with anyone. So what is the benefit? What is the benefit of having something in the drawers and you're not sharing it with your teachers? This is not true, you know. So here, they're accepting, manipulative, yes, manipulating. And here, again, we have four, as mentioned. The first one was integrity, then respect, responsibility, and fairness. These are the most important characteristics. And what is the impact? What is the importance of having such a kind of ethical leaders? Why should we have such kind of leaders? Why do we need them in our lives? Because they help us establish what? A positive, a healthy, a good, a beautiful, and attractive environment. You guys, wallah, I tell you a story that happened the other day with a teacher. One of the teachers called me and she says, I'm calling you from the hospital. And I was like, what happened? She said, I'm admitted to the hospital for a couple of days. I just said, speedy recovery, inshallah, salamat. She said, you know, it's basically because of my principal. I said, what happened? She said, my principal is always teasing me. And I was like, she's teasing you. What about other teachers? She said, to be honest, she's teasing one nationality and she's not teasing others. She's annoying one nationality and she's not annoying others. So where is fairness? Where is integrity? Where is responsibility? Where is respect? The teacher went to the hospital and was admitted because of her principal. So when you talk about ethical principles, you talk about the positive environment. You wake up in the morning happy, enthusiastic about the learning process. You want to go because you have a good leader. You want to go because you have someone protecting you. You have someone helping and aiding and supporting you. You know, this is a very important point that you guys need to understand. These people are important because they help us establish a positive environment with productive relationships over 3 levels: the individual level, the team level, and the overall of organization. I tell you something here. You know, AI. Do you think AI, artificial intelligence, will be able to create teams? No. Ethical leaders are able to create teams in schools, in companies, and they can, after creating teams, they can assign work to every one of the team. You know, so creating teams, inspiring people, this is only for human power. And in the future, let me be honest with you, in the future, those who are able to empower, not those who are in power, will be the true leaders. The one who is able to make everyone strong in the community. This is the leader. The one who is able to empower his team. the one who's making every single employee strong and happy. This is the true leader, not the leader who's trying to threaten people, who's trying to make them upset, who's trying to make their morale down. This is not a leader. It's a period after that. That's it. You know, I need to make sure that you guys understand one more point. Again, the impact of leadership ethics are really important, and you may, as a leader, face a problem. What is the problem that you may face? Let us see. You sometimes have ethical dimension or challenges. What are these ethical dimensions? A situation requiring a choice between conflicting principles. You know, you have two options, you have two problems, you have two issues that you have to choose from. And at that time, you may have a committee that help you take a decision, because we say open communication, seeking advice, ethical decision-making frameworks. You need to sit with your team. That's why the democratic leader is one of the good leaders. He's someone who is sitting with his team, trying to listen to them, trying to make sure that he's taking the right decision, not in his own. One more problem that may face ethical leaders, the external pressure. External pressure that may come from something outside the school that may affect your decision. You need also to seek what guidance from teams, something from outside. Let me imagine with you, what does it mean by external pressure? You are in a school, your students, for example, the score of a student is like 70%, and you have a pressure from the owner of the school saying, I want 70 to be 90. Well, this is external pressure. This is against your integrity. What you do, you may, for example, talk to the owner and tell him, you know, I may do this. However, people will know that our school is selling grades, and our name and reputation in the market will go down. You try to convince him that this is not the right decision. You know, you can do that. But at the end of the day, you try to be an ethical leader. You try to be a man of a word. You try to have integrity in your life. You have to be like this even in your daily life, in your religion. SubhanAllah, when you are implementing the ethical leadership style, you are implementing the true religion. The true religion, which is respect and being someone who is honest with everybody. Okay? The last point I want to share with you is, this is my last slide. What are the benefits? Again, what are the benefits of ethical leadership style? What are the benefits of having such people? Number one, employee satisfaction. Teachers will be happy. Teachers will be satisfied with the school. The staff retention rates will become higher. You will have a lot of staff in the school not willing to leave, not willing to resign, not willing to make, you know, dua on you one day. You say, this was the worst leader I've ever seen in my life. You know, number two, it's going to enhance trust. You trust the leader, that leader trusts you. And the last one is reputation, the good name of the school, the good name of the principal, the good reputation of the teachers. You know, sometimes you go for any event and they say, which school do you work for? You say, I'm working for X school. People look up at you and say, oh, wonderful. This school has a very good name in the market. You know, if you want to have a good name in the market, you can't have a good name with cheating. You have a good name with trust. You have a good name with responsibility. You have a good name with integrity. You have a good name with fairness. Be fair. That's why you'll be successful. And I think I have only 5 minutes left. I want to say, if you guys have any questions for me, if you guys, I was trying to be fast as much as I can in order to finish in 45 minutes.
Yeah,